Kelsey Bry and welcome back to my channel. So before we get started, it is time for the comment of the video. And this one comes from Crown Mundo 8121. They said, hey, this was on my tattoos and piercings Q&A. They said, hey, would you get a belly button piercing? And fun fact about that, I actually cannot get one. I went to go get one a few years ago, and when I have a tattoo like right here, and I rolled up my shirt so they could check to make sure it would be okay, and the guy was like, ooh. I was like, let me guess, is my tattoo gonna be in the way? He's like, not so much that, you don't have enough skin. So I don't have enough skin on my stomach to get a belly button piercing. And I was like, well, what do I do if I want one? He's like, well, you can gain more weight. No, thank you. So as much as I would like a belly button piercing, I actually cannot get one because my anatomy does not allow it. He said that it would just reject immediately if I tried. But thank you for your comment, and let's move on to today's video. Today's video, I'm going to tell you all about my classes that I've already finished for college. I finished 2 of them so far. I'm currently doing 2 right now, and I still have like 3 or 4 semesters left. So I have this giant binder right here, and this is going to be full of all of my notes from every single class once I am done. There's a whole bunch of tabs in here. Like I said, I've done 2 so far. So today we are going to be talking about the human anatomy for mortuary science. I am a mortuary science major. I am going to try and become a mortician slash funeral director slash embalmer, or work for my state's medical examiner lab doing autopsies. I could also be a cremator, but those are like the main job titles that I am interested in as of the moment. So my classes were in the winter, and it was Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it was from 6 o'clock to about 8:30. This is all on campus. None of this was in person or online. This is all in person. Since I'm still in the program, I am not able to show you the professor's name or the course title information aside from Human Anatomy for Mortuary Science. But let's just get into it, and I'm going to show you guys my notes, and without further ado, let's just go through my notes, and I will see you guys when the notes are done. Okay, so really quick, this was a 3-credit class, and there was a prerequisite, which was just getting accepted into the program. I had 3 hours of lecture and then 3 hours of lab, and basically in this class we studied the human body with particular emphasis on those systems providing the foundation for embalming, pathology, public health, and restorative arts. And the course was offered every fall and spring, but it might also be offered during additional sessions such as the winter and summer. And like I said, I took my classes in the fall, but they could be offered anytime throughout the year. So just to go over a few things, we learned about the history of anatomy. We learned about Edwin Smith Papyrus, which was one of the earliest known medical texts on trauma. We learned about Aristotle, who found comparative anatomy. We learned about Galileus or Galen, who overturned many misconceptions but made a few of his own. We learned about Leonardo da Vinci, who was incredibly accurate and made drawings of human anatomy until the church forbid his continued work. We learned about Vesalius, which was the first to challenge Galen's work, and we learned about the 18th and 19th centuries, which was the huge expansion of anatomical knowledge. We also learned about the subdivisions of anatomy, so gross anatomy, which is broken down into regional anatomy, which is the study of all structures in a particular area of the body, systemic anatomy, which is the study of all the organs that have related function. We learned about microscopic anatomy or histology, which is the study of tissues or structures that require a microscope. We learned about developmental anatomy or embryology, which is studying the systems and organs throughout the life cycle of the organism. We learned about pathological anatomy or pathology, which is the study of changes caused by disease. We learned about radiographic anatomy, which is the use of X-ray, MRI, PET scans, and ultrasounds. And we learned about functional morphology, which is the study function of body structures and assess efficiency. In this class, we examined the 11 major systems of the human body, and the emphasis was on structures and how they relate to the individual system and the body as a whole. The discussion on physiology was as needed, but it wasn't really focused on, and the discussion of diseases was mentioned for each system, so we mainly focused on the anatomy and not the physiology behind it. For this class, we focused on the 11 major organ systems of the human body. The first system we talked about was the integumentary system, which is the hair, nails, and skin. It forms the external body covering and protects deeper tissues from injury. It also synthesizes vitamin D and houses cutaneous receptors, which are the receptors for pain, pleasure, etc., and also houses the sweat and oil glands. The second system we discussed was the skeletal system, which includes the bones and joints. The skeletal system protects and supports the body's organs and provides a framework the muscles use to cause movement. Blood cells are formed within bones, and bones store minerals. The third system we discussed was the muscular system, which includes skeletal muscles. That's what we focused on. It allows the manipulation of the environment, locomotion, and facial expressions. It also maintains posture and produces heat. The fourth system we talked about was the nervous system, which includes the brain, nerves, and spinal cord. As the fast-acting control system of the body, it responds to internal and external changes by activating appropriate muscles and glands. The fifth system we discussed was the endocrine system, which include the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, the thyroid gland, the thymus, the adrenal gland, the pancreas, the testes, and the ovaries. These glands secrete hormones that regulate processes such as growth, reproduction, and nutrient use, also known as metabolism, by the body's cells. The sixth system we talked about was the cardiovascular system, which include the heart and the blood vessels. The blood vessels transport blood, which carries oxygen, carbon dioxide, nutrients, wastes, etc., and the heart pumps blood. The next system we talked about was the lymphatic system, which includes red bone marrow, the thymus, lymphatic vessels, the thoracic duct, spleen, and lymph nodes. The lymphatic system picks up fluid leaked from the blood vessels and returns it to blood. It also disposes of debris in the lymphatic stream. It houses white blood cells, which are known as lymphocytes, and they're involved in immunity. The immune response mounts the attack against foreign substances within the body. The next system we discussed was the respiratory system, which includes the nasal cavity, the pharynx, the larynx, the bronchioles, the trachea, and the lungs. The respiratory system keeps blood constantly supplied with oxygen and removes carbon dioxide. The gaseous exchanges occur through the walls of the air sacs of the lungs. The next system we discussed was the digestive system, which includes the oral cavity, the esophagus, the liver, the stomach, the small intestine, the large intestine, the rectum, and the anus. The digestive system breaks down food into absorbable units that enter the blood for distribution to the body's cells. Indigestible foodstuffs are eliminated as feces. The next system we discussed was the urinary system, which includes the kidneys, the ureters, the urinary bladder, and the urethra. The urinary system eliminates nitrogenous wastes from the body. It regulates water, electrolyte, and acid-base balance of the blood as well. And the last system we discussed was the reproductive system, which includes the prostate gland, the penis, the testes, the ductus deferens, the scrotum, the mammary glands in the breasts, the ovary, the uterus, the uterine tube, and the vagina. The overall function is production of offspring. Testes produce sperm and male sex hormones, and male ducts and glands aid in the delivery of sperm to the female reproductive tract. Ovaries produce eggs and female sex hormones. The remaining female structures serve as sites for fertilization and development of the fetus. Mammary glands of female breasts produce milk to nourish the newborn. In Chapter 1, we discussed the human body and the orientation of the human body. We mainly discussed the hierarchy of structural organization. So we have the chemical level, which atoms form molecules. After that, we have the cellular level, which is cells and their functional subunits. After that, we have the tissue level, which is a group of cells performing a common function. After tissue, we have organ level, which is a discrete structure made up of more than one tissue. Then we have the organ system level, which is organs working together for a common purpose. And finally, we have the organismal level, which is the result of all simpler levels working together in unison. And that's all I have, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or video ideas, be sure to leave them in the comments section down below. All my social media links are always in the description box and at the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!